Hey y'all, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to share with you how to make these faux concrete pumpkins. So these are the materials you'll need to do this project. First up we have our jack-o'-lanterns. This one is from Dollar Tree. It's in their plus section. It was $6. Then I got these other two from Walmart. They look just like the ones I got from Lowe's last year. Love that curved stem. It looks just like the Pottery Barn ones. And then this bigger one, he was $20, and I think the middle one was about $13. And then for paint, we're using some leftover cabinet paint and some white chalk paint from Dixie Belle. And then we're also going to use baking soda and baking powder. So let's get started mixing up my paint. I'm going to do 2 layers. First is going to be a darker paint color. So I'm only going to mix about 1 part of the white to 2 parts of the black, and then I'm going to add a really good amount of baking soda because I want this paint to be really textured so we get that concrete effect. And I needed to break up some of that baking soda, so I use a plastic fork to mix it all up. And then we're going to start painting these jack-o'-lanterns. So you want your paint to be not runny, but pretty well textured and thick so that it goes on really smooth. You can use a primer. I just did not want to go to the store and get one because I had all the other materials on hand and I had a very limited window to get this first coat of paint on these pumpkins before I had to go volunteer at my kid's school for the day. So I decided to skip the primer, but if you want to do that step, you totally should. Maybe some kind of spray paint primer, and then that will help the paint stick really, really well. But it does still go on really nicely. You just have to be careful not to like bump it before it dries or it will scratch off. And so then I'm going to let this coat of paint dry once I get it on the pumpkins, and then we'll start on our next layer. Now for the next layer, I'm going for a much lighter color. So I'm going to use about 1 part of the black to 1 part of the white. And so I'm going to get a lot lighter of a gray color. And then I'm just going to use about the same amount of baking soda, mix that up. And as you see, I'm getting this much lighter gray color that when layered onto the darker charcoal color, I'm going to get that layered effect that you get when you make something out of concrete, and I feel like the effect really worked here and I'm really happy with the results. So here is a look at how these guys dried, and then we're going to add some baking powder to the top of these. So this is what they look like before the baking powder. They still look really good, but and we definitely got all of that texture that I wanted, and the variation in the coloring is definitely helping with that faux concrete effect, but the baking powder is really going to send it over the top. I have also used calcium carbonate for this. That's the thickening agent that you'll use if you make your own chalk paint, but I don't have any on hand and it takes a while to get it in from Amazon, so I'm using baking powder instead. I like baking powder instead of baking soda because it just for some reason sticks better. I don't know if my baking soda was old the last time I tried it, but baking powder works better and I always have it on hand, so that's what I'm using. And then I'm going to take a paper towel and kind of dab off any excess, which is going to be a lot, and this is going to make a mess, but that's okay. I was able to wipe this up, vacuum it up, no problem, and it didn't take that long. And then you want to make sure to get all of those spots where it might collect and kind of surprise you later, like around the stem or maybe in some of the grooves. You can even kind of blow on it to make sure that you don't have any clumps anywhere. And then when you're done, you just have these really beautiful looking faux concrete pumpkins. And because we've done all of this hard work with the layering and now kind of aging them a little bit, I guess, with the powder, we want to protect our work, so we're going to seal them with a matte top coat. I'm doing this because I plan to use these outside, and you can see the final reveal of what they look like all lit up in the next video, which should be about making over my front porch for Halloween. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. Drop me a comment if you love these as much as I do. I'm obsessed with how they turned out, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.